We are now in part 6 of Desjardins' discussion of affirmative action, and we're going to look at arguments for preferential treatment based on compensation for past harms and based on real equality in the workplace. We must now examine arguments in support of preferential treatment. The first is the argument on the basis of the idea of compensation for past harms. There are 3 requirements for compensation for harms to be just. Requirement 1, the compensation must be proportional to the harms. Desjardins argues that preferential treatment affirmative action is proportional, since it is intended to end once a proportionate representation in the workforce is achieved by all races, genders, etc. Preferential treatment is not to go on forever, but only up until we have a proportional representation in the workforce. Requirement 2, the compensation is from those who are responsible for the harms. We will usually hear in objection to stronger affirmative action that the present generation is not responsible for the harms inflicted by the past generations. Desjardins argues that what matters is that the present generations unfairly benefit from the crimes of the past generations. And this makes the present generations, white males passed down in hiring, responsible for restoring justice under preferential treatment. Requirement 3, the compensation is to those who have suffered from the harms. Here, Desjardins admits that preferential treatment affirmative action can occasionally benefit those who do not need it and not go to those who does need it, such as when a well-to-do minority female is hired over a white male who does not come from a well-to-do background. For this reason, Desjardins proposes that, ideally, preferential treatment would be on the basis of economic class rather than race or gender. The second argument in support of strong affirmative action of preferential treatment is that real equality in the workplace requires it. It is based on a Kantian thought that individuals should not suffer the harms or disadvantages that they do not deserve. As such, sufferings, harms, disadvantages would be rationally arbitrary and not respect rational autonomy of persons. Members of disadvantaged minorities who suffer these disadvantages due to past discrimination should not suffer them. Desjardins here argues that equal consideration that is due to everyone does not mean equal treatment, in support of the justice of preferential treatment of affirmative action. The white males and the minorities are given a different treatment, but the thought is that they're given equal consideration, and that equal consideration of the position of each requires different and unequal treatment. In the end, the general takeaway which Desjardins leaves us is that, of course, everyone deserves equal treatment and the best qualified should be hired, as a prima facie moral principle that regulates action, meaning that it should be the default mode of operation, but that it can be overridden for legitimate higher moral reasons, such as that of undoing great injustices of the past.